Hello, my name is David Gertz. I live in Hebron, Indiana in rural Porter County with my wife Michelle and my two sons Matthew and Danny, two German Shepherds and two cats, well now one had passed. Reason I'm making this video is to make the public aware of corruption. Corruption that I feel in my heart has been going on in this county, and it goes deeper and bigger than this county. Okay, I've been self-employed since 1994. Prior to that, I've worked since the day I was 16 years old. My father was an American veteran. He was in Korea. He lost his eye over in Korea when he was 23. He was a good man. He was an honest man. He raised my family right. And I tend to raise my children right too. To be honest, to be truthful, and to tell the truth and deal with integrity and decency no matter what. I feel that I've been harassed for 7 years. When I bought this house in 2003, moved next to a neighbor, Doug Estes, who we got along as friends and neighbors. I don't know what happened with our relationship, but to make a long story short, we were sued by him because we had a fence in our yard. We put the fence up at 8 foot. We had a permit for 7 foot. Fence was put in there for a reason. We felt we needed it because of the relationship between us. It wasn't done out of hatred. It wasn't done out of spite. It was done out of necessity. Also, I'm in a security business. I put up security cameras for the reason this man was harassing my family when I was going to work. He was harassing my family, doing everything he could, putting up no trespassing signs, causing my wife a lot of unnecessary stress. The fence needed to be there.
We wrote the county and we told them because we had a permit for 7 foot. We wrote the county and said, since the lumber only came in 6 and 8 feet, we were going to put it up 8 foot. And we wrote them in February of 2005, and nobody ever responded. And so when we started putting up the fence, my caller kept coming around, and he would sit in the street and watch us, and it freaked me out. So I went out there and questioned who he was, and he told me, and we told him we wrote the letter to Bob Thompson, who never replied. And in fact, when he did get back to us, his job was that he did not handle things like that. And he is the, what is it, Planning Commission?
He's the Plan Commission, the head of the plan, or no, I'm sorry, the Building Commissioner.
Right. And Mike Haller is the building...
Mike Haller is the Building Commissioner.
And he told us that he was being harassed every day by this Doug Estes because he did not want us to have a fence. And Haller finally told us that nobody in the office wants to deal with them because his uncle is Tom Anionson, the Porter County Building Inspector, and this man calls nonstop until he gets what he wants. So we went to several meetings trying to get this stated. And Karen Tallahan, basically, she was the lawyer at the time, would not let us say anything. She told us to contact our lawyer.
Now, Karen Tallahan, at the time, was the attorney for the Plan Commission. We were sued over a spite fence. Nobody even knows what a spite fence is. You can talk to any lawyer, and prior to us going through this, a spite fence isn't something anybody knows about. It's an old thing that's been in the law books for years, but nobody's ever successfully sued over a spite fence. There has been one case in Indiana, Rinke versus Hallis in 1992, where a guy put up a 6-foot fence and he made this thing as ugly as he could to harass his neighbor. That was not our case. We built a beautiful fence and a high quality fence, and me and a friend of mine worked our tails off a whole summer long to make this thing as nice as we could. However, there was a few little nails sticking on the back side, but the fence was a foot in my yard when in fact I could have put it on the property line. It was not a big deal. It was a nice structure. It was built well. It was not intended to harass anybody.
Better read this up.
Anyhow, make a long story.
We have proof of everything we are saying too, by the way.
To make a long story short, the neighbor Estes waited till we completed the fence. He went and filed a suit against our security cameras. He sued us against, we have a speaker that doesn't even point his way, it points to the back of my property so that I can call my kids if they're late to dinner or talk to somebody out in the back. That was put in the day I moved in. It had nothing to do with him. When we went to trial, The first lawyer I had, Gary Weiss, when we went and done the depositions, he backed out because there was something going on, and I knew this because he never took us in the room with the other attorney. His attorney talked, David Phillips. They talked together behind my back for an hour. When Gary Weiss came back, instead of representing me, and he knew this case wasn't going to go anywhere, it should have been thrown out of court because it was nonsense. It was complete ridiculousness. Any court would not try such a ridiculous case. Anyhow, he said that we would lose if we went to trial. Otherwise, he said, take your security cameras down, because that's what Estes wants. He wants your security cameras removed. Otherwise, he's going to use the spite fence law against you. Now, Karen Tallahan, the attorney for the Plan Commission, is the one that tipped off the county about this spite fence law. Otherwise, nobody would have known about it. So they were all in bed together to work against us. They did work against us. We had to fire Gary Weiss because he would not represent us. I had to find an attorney. I found this Jim Sullivan in Valparaiso. Jim sounded like he knew what he was doing. He was a
very knowledgeable attorney.
Very knowledgeable. He dealt with mostly property law.
He was great until we went to court and actually sat there and said nothing.
He sat there, did not say a word. We were railroaded. We had to sit in that courtroom for a full day, and then a second day, another half a day, and we did not get to speak. We did not get to tell our side of the story. It was all about them.
We were not allowed to show our videos.
We had so much proof against this guy, but we were not allowed to show any of it.
Judge Alexa banned
Judge Alexa let us
evidence.
not talk. He's a judge. He's a smart man. He knows the truth, but he suppressed the truth to make it work in their favor. Because they're all tied together politically, we stand alone. They stand together. We have
nobody will help us.
Nobody to help us.
We contacted the papers. We contacted Visklowski. We contacted TV stations. No one will help us. Everyone is afraid of this judge. Even we have camera. We have an actual proof of a camera of Doug Estes going up to our camera, jumps and hits it and breaks it, and nothing. The prosecutor won't touch him. The police won't touch him.
Police won't do anything.
Nothing.
Everybody just looks the other way when this stuff happens.
Then when we went to appeal it, we hired, Jess Lessinger?
We had to appeal this because I figured because of the case law, long story short, we cut the fence down to 6 foot to keep it within compliance, to make it not a spite fence. It should not have been a spite fence. I spent a lot of money on that fence. The fence, even though it was 6 foot, it was totally in compliance with state law, with local laws. We were ordered to destroy it. Destroy a whole year's worth of my time, a whole year's worth of all the money that I spent and the hard work. And that fence meant a lot to me. I had my heart and soul into that fence, and it was taken from me unnecessarily, just so they could prove their point.
Well, Judge Alexa kept saying the fence was 7 foot, so we had to appeal it twice so we could change the law. And when we hired Judge Lessinger to change it, he didn't even write in their case law. He wrote nothing. He sat there and did nothing, exactly what Jim Sullivan did.
Now, the reason that fence should have been let go when we cut it down to 6 foot, because there's a higher case law that shows if a fence isn't over 6 foot, it cannot be considered a spite fence. Well, when it was taken down to 6 foot, he should not have been so heartless to make me destroy my entire property, the one that I've worked so hard for and spent so much money and so much of my time on. That was a real kick in the stomach, and it hurts. And I'll tell you what. You know what, if that's what this country's about, and that's what politics is about in this county, it needs to change. We need to get somebody else in there that stands up for the people. I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican or what the heck they are. People that look out for the people that they represent, the people that pay to put them there, should represent everybody, no matter whether if their uncle is this guy or that guy or who they're in bed with, because there's a lot of that going on in this county, and that needs to change. Please vote for Pampalone. Pampalone's an honest guy. He's a young man. He's not tied in with any of these other people. He will do everybody right. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican or who you think or what you are. You want somebody that represents you.
We even had, in the first time we went to court, we even had our bank president come in and testify that Doug Estes wrote him several notes, or that he wrote one note, but he called him several times a day. He called him like 20 times a day for 5 days, trying to get our house taken away from us, saying that we were under a criminal investigation. Our bank president came and testified against this man, because he's never seen in his 20 years of being a bank president anything like this. It was so strange. He did not keep the letter, therefore we could not run it into evidence. But he came in to testify for us, and that Judge Alexa never allowed any of that into his final rulings. Not one thing was mentioned.
Now, not did Doug Estes only call my bank president, he called the IRS on me, and he told the IRS that I fraudulently obtained my home, made other allegations. I was under investigation for the IRS for the last 4 years. I did all the county work myself. I've started my business in 1994. I started with nothing. My dad was a dairy worker. I did everything myself, including my accounting. I'm a do-it-yourselfer type of guy. Yes, I've made mistakes on my accounting. Yes, there are problems. I've tried to come clean. I've cooperated with everybody, did everything I could to pay back any money that I owe and do my duty as a citizen, but I am not being given the chance right now. I'm being railroaded into signing some plea agreement that totally incriminates me, and it'll destroy my life. It's going to destroy my business. It's taken away my right to do the work that I have done all my life, the only work I know, the only work that can allow me to support my family and my 2 beautiful children. That's being taken from me because they will not work out an agreement with me. They want to see me hang, and there's nothing more that I can do. But you know what? I just want people to know what's going on here, and I want this looked into because it goes a lot deeper than simple fact, okay? I'm an honest man. I've never cheated anybody out of a penny, and I never would. I'd help anybody just like my father would. If somebody needs help, I will help them and do anything I can for them. I do not deserve what is coming my way.
And
there's something deeper than just what simple fact. There's political stuff involved. Somebody knows somebody because Alexa knew everybody downstate, all the appeals judges. He railroaded all this thing. He served on that committee, and he's also served on the Plan Commission. So,
and everything that we went to appeal, usually it takes years and years. Our appeal took 2 days. Everything that we done, it came back in 2 days it was signed. But also in 2005 when we went to court, Doug Estes stated that we were under a criminal investigation and we had no clue what he was talking about. And then all of a sudden the IRS came to our door on that December of 2005 and
I cooperated with the IRS.
Agent, what's his name, Priestess?
John Priest.
Went to every single one of our clients and harassed them. We lost several of our
good clients because of which?
Because they were scared because this guy intimidated the crap out of him. And then the economy hit, so we had no work anyway. So we barely just getting by. And this Priestess guy wants Dave to hang. So we are going to lose everything. We're going to lose our business. We're going to lose our house. We're going to lose everything that we've worked so hard for. All because some Porter County judge has a hard-on for us. And he is the, well, we've been told by several people, we cannot prove that, but we are told that he is the leader of the Good Old Boy Society, and he needs to go. We don't even know Pampelone. We called Pampelone and said, hey, you're young, you're new, you have you don't know anybody in this county. Yes, he's a Republican, but we asked him if we could help him out, putting signs in people's yard. And as soon as we started doing that and helping him out, all our signs that we put up, we wasted how many hours, they all disappeared at night, all our Pampelone signs, and we started getting nails in our driveway every single night since we started helping that guy out. We don't even know this guy, but you guys, you need to think, this guy is corrupt, and he made our life a living hell for the past 7 years. We need to elect somebody else. He has to go. He has got to go. And also, the funny thing is about it, we got this thing, it's called the Americans for Limited Government, and it states everyone on our street who votes. And you know what's really funny is it says our neighbor who sued us, Doug Estes' house, and it has this Ronald Minter, and he lives in an apartment. Doug Estes doesn't have an apartment in his house. We Google this Ronald Minter, we can't even find that he exists. So how many other people are out there that don't exist that are going to vote for Alexa? Makes you wonder, doesn't it?